What's going on, guys? Welcome to Fight Junkeez, sponsored by MMA Fight Universe. My name is O'Day Osborne, the Jamaican sensation, and it is Thursday, April 6th. I'm here with my man, Bobby.
What's up? Bobby, just Bob.
Bob.
How's everybody doing?
Man, this week has been the weirdest week. I don't know what it is. It's just been, you know what it was? I think because there was no fights last week. That's what it was.
It threw our schedule off.
Yeah, it just messed everything all up, man.
Yeah,
whenever there's no fights, I'm just like, what in the world? What am I going to do with my life?
Dana White, what are you doing?
Hey, speaking of Dana White, man, I can't wait for Contender Series to start back up.
I know. Then we can go to the Apex every Tuesday. Ooh. I was disappointed we didn't see him last night. But obviously there's a big
card in Miami.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's get into that, man.
Yeah, so
my tea.
We spoke a little bit Tuesday about the card that's coming up in a couple days, but today's the day we're going to get into it for all you fight fans out there.
I like the fit you got on today, man.
I wanted to look a little more adult today.
I like it.
I was at the bare knuckle press conference, and I guess I look a little too tough. Everyone's like, "Are you a fighter?" And I'm like, "No."
Got you a little
fighter life.
A little scarf going on.
I'm an old man. My back hurts.
A little scarf game going. You know, it's a little chilly outside. Okay, all right.
Did I miss the white memo?
The white memo?
The new kicks.
I didn't text you this morning because I figured Bobby was going to send it out. Everyone wearing white. I mean, we all wore black last night for the Nike Air movie. Austin never gets the memo.
Hey, I had black pants on, okay?
I wore it. So let me, we're going to get into the fights, everybody, but I got a question for you young men, okay? Well, you're getting there. You're in your 30s. Mm-hmm. I got shit from my wife, who's 10 years younger, last night because I wore Nikes to the Jordan movie and a Champion hoodie. She was like, "You can't do that."
I wore
in
Vans.
my time, Champion used to see Champion now.
Yeah.
For all the kids is like this cool shit you wear. When I grew up,
it was affordable.
35 years ago, it was like Kmart.
Yeah, Champion was.
See, all my wrestling
it wasn't
packs were Champion.
But Champion's not a shoe, right?
They have shoes now, I believe.
Yeah, but you can wear a Champion.
But like, they're not
can wear a Champion hoodie with Nikes.
They're
Get
not
out of here.
known as
Man, the best feeling ever was going into the mall and walking into Champion and walking out and getting the shoes, and you're just like, yeah, because Champion was that spot. It was Champion and Foot Locker.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
And Sauconys.
Yes, man.
Now, I used to rock the Shacks from Walmart. They look like Air Force. If you had big enough jeans, they'd cover the Shaquille O'Neal logo.
I don't even know if Foot Locker is Foot Locker still around?
Oh yeah, I get 20% off at my VA discount.
I'm all online right now. I hate going to the mall.
That's because you have a 27-inch waist. Us fat guys, I got to try it on.
I don't even want to say now that I hear O'Day's a 27-inch waist. What I have to get.
Actually, I'm 28.
Yeah. Last night was great. Shout out to the big guy, Mr. John Orlando. We went to the Art District, to the Arts House.
Yes, Arts House Nike Air movie, which was incredible.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I thought it was way better than I thought. Man, it was way better than I thought.
I knew it was a shoe movie, but I didn't know, I didn't have any like knowledge of what the movie was going to be.
No,
and if you're watching this and you have not seen the new Air Jordan movie, go see it. It motivated me. If you don't know me, and I'm sure we'll get into my story another time, but I'm only in this position hosting a fight show, which is the number one podcast in the world, with UFC fighters and doing this tremendous stuff because I held a cardboard sign in front of the UFC Apex a couple years ago, and security came out and got me, and I met Dana and Billy. Thank you, Dana White. Thank you.
Is Billy the one that got you? Came out? No way.
Yeah, Billy. Everybody came out, and everyone said.
So tell the story so people know about this.
All right, we'll get in. All right,
this is hilarious.
So I've gone through a lot, and that's another time. But I was living in a fifth wheel camper a couple years ago in the ghetto part of Vegas, over on Nellis Boulevard, and I'm a huge fight fan. Obviously, I live and breathe UFC. And I was like, man, I don't have money for a UFC fight, but I really want to get, I want to get in there.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to get in the building somehow.
You wanted to get into the building.
I was like, I got to get in the building. So I literally made a cardboard sign that said Uncle Dana, Iraq veteran. Let me watch the fights. I think it said Nelk Boys on it too, because I'm a huge fan of Nelk.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve will do it. And I went and stood in front of the UFC Apex, and security came out. I was like so embarrassed. I was like actually laughing.
Yeah.
Because I knew, like, I'm like, damn, these guys are going to tase me. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's a guy with face tattoos on the property. And they weren't going to do it. They were like, Billy came out, and I guess everybody said no.
Now when you see Billy, you're like, fuck you, Billy, I got in.
Yeah, no, Billy's the reason I got in. Billy.
Shout out to Billy, man.
Billy was like, you know what?
I love Billy.
This guy's a vet, like, and he's a fan. Without the fans, we don't exist. He sent a picture of me out there to Dana.
No shit.
And Dana was like, get him in here. And that's it. We saw Dana.
Yeah.
Dana, we hit it off. We were bullshitting for a little while. And then we went to the fights.
Yeah.
Hit it off more. And Dana invited us back to the Darren Till Brunson fight. And hung out with Dana again. And then he invited us back. And I actually gave him a 20-year anniversary 9/11 shirt from my dad. And then I also gave Dana a flag I had in Iraq. And I gave it to him in a shadow box and just said, thank you. And I told you, Dana, if you watch this, I told you, mark my words, you will see me again. I'm going to make something out of myself. And I told him that in the octagon. So I'm back, Dana. I can't wait to get you on the show.
Love to hear it, man.
I wouldn't be here without Dana White.
Love to hear it, man.
So
love to hear
You got to take chances.
Yes.
Just like that Nike Air movie where they showed up to Michael Jordan's house and talked to his parents. You got
to take a risk, man. You got to take a risk.
You are not your past. So make your future.
I love it, man.
Speaking of futures, the future of the main event, Israel Adesanya, is on the line because we'll get into it. We got a main card.
You want to hear my opinion on that one, man?
Well, UFC 287, Miami, first time they've been there in 20 years. They're bringing it home. It's a huge card.
It's a really big card.
We'll start with the main event. Let's do that.
It's a really big card, man. It's a really. Why don't we work our way up so that way we save the juice. Save the juice for last.
I'm down. the whole main card is stacked. So
yeah.
The fight that's gonna break them into the main event is Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez for bantamweight.
This is one of those fights, man. I've trained with Christian Rodriguez. I was teammates with both these guys, actually.
You trained with both?
Yes.
This is all deja vu
teammates
for me. Because the last guy Raul fought was your roommate, right?
Yes.
And you were like, he ain't gonna get beat. He ain't gonna get beat.
Yeah.
Got beat instantly.
He was my roommate. But Christian, on the other hand, so Raul and Jay both trained together at Syndicate.
Okay.
Christian trained with me at Rufus Sport with Duke Rufus, who, Duke Rufus is a really good striking coach.
Oh, yeah, legend.
This is a tough fight for Raul. This is a very tough fight for him. I think this is good for him because this is his test. You know what I'm saying? And I see nothing but good coming out of this fight for Raul. Either he loses and he can go back to the drawing board and be like, well, I'm young. I got, you know what I'm saying?
He's 18.
What do I got to improve on? Okay, X, Y, and Z. Or he wins and he's like, okay, this is the level I'm at. All right, I know where I stand. You know what I'm saying? And this is not an easy fight for him. Christian, let me tell you, Christian is a dog, and his best attribute is that he's very calm. And can Raul overwhelm him? And can he get Christian to the ground? That's going to be the deciding factor. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a really, really good fight. And I think Raul will be able to get him down. Is he going to be able to keep him down is the deciding factor. And this fight's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people think that Raul is just going to run through Christian. I don't think that at all.
I think that hype is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I say that because if you don't know who we're talking about with Raul Rosas Jr., he was on the Contender Series at 17. His parents had to sign a waiver for him to fight. So he's the youngest UFC fighter ever, I believe. So not saying that his skill set's not there. Obviously, his skill set's there.
It's definitely there, 100%. And I think this fight is going to show a lot of his skill set. Like I said, I don't think he's going to run through Christian. But if he wins, I think it's a decision. I don't see it being like he subs him in the first round or second round, or you know what I'm saying. I think it's a decision if he wins.
it's going to be. But I just hope that everybody knows who he is because he got pushed so hard because he was the youngest fighter. So I just hope that the hype doesn't get to his head. I mean, he was in the press conference, and I even commented. I said, "Talk that shit, young man. This is your time. Own it."
Hell yeah.
But he was like, "You guys are all prelim fighters. I'm on the main card. Take notes." That's what he
said that?
He said that. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. So stay humble.
He's the GOAT already.
Humble.
He's got fight with him. He's got a hell of. I mean, so Christian Rodriguez is 8-1-0, and Rose is 7-0. So somebody's, he might lose. I don't know. But the age is 18 versus a 25-year-old. That's a big age difference. The only fight that Christian Rodriguez lost, think about this for a second. The only fight that he lost was a week notice fight or a 2 weeks notice. It was either a fight that he got short notice to get into the UFC, up a weight class at 45. He only took that fight at 45 because he had to get into the UFC, and it was against a dog, and it was, you know what I'm saying? That's the only.
He lost to Jonathan Pierce.
Yes. And that was a 2 week notice fight that he, last minute was like, yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm getting to the UFC.
Is it a money thing? Why you guys will...
No, for him, it was to get the contract. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in the UFC.
Okay.
And they offered him the fight. So, of course, he's going to take it.
That's his chance.
He gets his chance to get in. Then when you get in, then you can, go to your proper weight class. So, don't sleep on this kid, man. Christian got I'm telling, maybe, I could be a little biased because he was my teammate, and I know how good he was. I also know how good Raul is. Also, don't sleep on Raul either. Both of these fighters are incredible athletes. Raul is an incredible athlete. Christian's an incredible athlete. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm definitely excited.
I think I do feel that Christian does have the edge in veteran. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has the experience and that edge. He's been around for a long time. He's just been waiting in the shadows. So I'm gonna hedge towards Christian because of that.
Oh, all right. So you got Christian. I'm gonna go with Raul because I want this kid to. I know you want them all to go.
Yeah,
I know.
I love Raul, man. I think he's a great guy. His parents are really cool.
Yeah, he got his mom a minivan with the bonus.
Right.
So let's go to the next fight on the card, which is...
Is that a rumor that Ponzinibbio is out?
I think it's a rumor because Kevin Holland posted something and then there was nothing followed up about it. I'll look into it.
Yeah, check into that. Austin.
Then that had to happen this morning.
I don't. Yeah, someone was talking about it last night, but I think because of the scuffle they had.
No, that was Holland and Masvidal.
I know.
Where did you read that at?
Someone told me that last night at the
UFC. Your people?
No. At John Orlando. I'm quoting you, John. I remember you told me that last night. But yeah, I think it's a rumor. Anyways, let's break this fight down. How do you see this fight going?
Well, you just threw that a monkey wrench in my whole mindset. I'm texting John now.
Nah, I think it's a rumor. I don't think it's.
I hope it's a rumor. Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, because I heard that last night, and I should have done my research before I came on here.
I don't know when.
Otherwise, I shouldn't have even brought it up.
I watched MMA stuff until midnight last night, and then again this morning.
And you didn't see anything. I didn't see we would have already known if it was a thing. So let's all right.
MMA Junkie would have already had 18 posts about it.
So all right,
Kevin Holland versus Ponzinibbio.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate you.
This is going to be a great fight. Kevin Holland, as big mouth is what Dana calls him. He's a savage, man. He goes out to scrap. I think that he's going to be a lot more relaxed in this fight. His last fight was a short day notice. I think it was 1 or 2 days notice when he fought Hamzat. And then the fight after that, he fought Wonder Boy and broke his hand. So, it's not... He even said, I got wrestled. I'm not a wrestler. And then I broke my hand. So... he doesn't personally, in his mind, from what he said at a press conference, feel like he's on a normal 2-fight skid where he got beat twice. Mm-hmm. He feels like I took a fight on short notice. It got choked out. We kind of knew that was going to happen. no disrespect to Holland. I thought he definitely had a chance because he's a jiu-jitsu black belt and he's tall and rangy, but Khamzat,
I didn't think so.
You thought Khamzat was just going to take him down?
Yeah, I thought Khamzat was going to take him down for sure.
I thought he might just try to stand with him because he stood with Burns so much.
Yeah, but Holland accepts, he kind of sometimes, I guess not the Khamzat fight. Not the Khamzat fight, but he's okay with being on bottom because he's got good jiu-jitsu. He's okay with being on bottom. But Khamzat is a different animal. You know what I mean? He's a different animal, man. That guy
dude scares me.
Yeah.
So Kevin Holland, I love the dude, but it's unfortunate that he's almost turning into a Cowboy Cerrone now. Or people will tune in and watch him fight. But
he's entertaining. Yeah, he's very entertaining. He's super entertaining.
I just don't see him taking a crazy run for the belt. I think he's just getting paid well and he's having fun.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with
Which
that.
is great. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Now, Santiago, on the other hand, I think he does want to do a run at the belt. This guy's been in the top 10 for the last 5 years.
And that's why I go for Ponzinibbio because of that aspect. I think you're right. I think Kevin Holland is like, he's kind of like a Nate Diaz.
Yes.
An entertainer in the game, which is nothing wrong with that, man. I love watching Kevin Holland. He's one of the most entertaining fighters on the mic and in the UFC.
And in the ring. If you don't know, he's the one who talks shit while the fight's happening the entire time.
Yeah, Kevin Holland he's incredible.
So I'm going to go with Ponzinibbio as well.
Yep.
Just because he like we just said, he's been in the top 10 and he's fought everybody. And I think he does.
He wants it more. I believe that he wants it more.
He wants another run at the belt. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But that's going to be a good fight.
Now, let's move on to the feature bout. Rob Font and Adrian Yanez.
I am excited about this.
Oh, man.
Fight of the night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This fight is going to be amazing. Incredible.
Fight of the night.
Fight of the night, for sure. This fight's going to be a banger. And I see Adrian Yanez pulling out for this one, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. His hands so clean. Adrian Yanez, he's one of those fighters that he's so crispy. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like sharpshooter. For me, that's everything. Rob Font is a tank. He comes forward and he is a stud. He's a stud. Man, this weight class is stacked, man. 15 from 15 to number 1 is just all animals.
Yeah, it's
all animals.
And it's anybody's game at those.
It is. This fight could go either way, but I see Adrian Yanez pulling it out. Talk to me about what you see on this one.
Watching Embedded, I looked at both of these fighters, and I look at them pretty strategically, not just off of their fight skills, but their heart and their why. And I know my why, my wife, my 2 daughters, and that's a pretty big why. Mm-hmm. That's why, even though, coming into the podcast game, doing a fight show late in the game a little bit, I have no doubt that we're going to absolutely crush it because I'm going to outwork everybody in the room because I have a family. Yep. And when I watched Embedded, I also saw Rob Font with a newborn, and the look in his eye was I'm fighting for
He's
something
been here
else
before
now.
too.
Yeah.
So
Cheeto Vera.
Yeah, you're right. I think Cheeto might have had COVID or something. He was a little he was not himself that night. But I don't know. This is a toss up. If you go overall totality, like I did with Sandhagen, I thought Sandhagen would win by decision because he's better overall skilled. I would say the same. But I also went with Cheeto and he lost, so I'm going to go with Rob. I don't think he's as dynamic as his opponent, but I do think
he's got the
the why.
He does have the why. He does have it. All right.
Real quick, we have a comment asking about if anybody else has heard the rumors about Bob versus Schmo. Do we have any update on that?
Was that George?
Oh, most definitely. But yes. Do we have any? I want to know though.
We'll get into that actually, because I actually met the Schmo.
The Schmo is taking a fight. If you guys haven't heard, the Schmo is having his first MMA fight.
Yep, and that's why I said, publicly that I want the winner. And then I met him in person, and I told him I'm the guy who said that. And he looked at me like, do we got beef? And I was like, oh, no, man, we're good. And obviously we're good. It's all fun.
No. Tell him you want beef. Tell him that you are out here.
I'm too old. I've had real beef in my life. and I'm too.
Speaking
full.
of, so Bob versus Schmo, when?
I heard rumors.
He said he heard rumors.
I've heard rumors on the Twitter sphere.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I met the Schmo.
What
Told
weight
him-
class would you guys do though if you had to fight the Schmo? What
He's
weight
taller than me, but I'm thicker than
class?
him.
But what weight class would you meet him at?
Wait.
I think with you guys on my side telling me, I think I can get down to 170.
170. All right, 170. Bob versus Schmo. Schmo, if you're listening, man, let's get it going.
Well, he's got a fight. And Grant, I told Schmo I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
And this is not, I don't, like I'm scared or nothing. Like, Schmo, I'd fight you in Walmart parking lot, dude. I'm a big fan of the Schmo. Like, he came in and did essentially what I want to do. And, you know, he broke out. He's a breakout guy, and he's doing big things, especially at the bare knuckle. You know, he was kind of owned the press conference, was doing a lot with Chael.
The Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, I'm from Jersey, man. I was scrapping with grown men when I was 17. That's why I went in the Army.
Run it. Run it,
So-
Schmo.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
making
no
the-
beef, but Fight Junkeez versus Schmo would
Making
be
the
pretty
tail
cool.
of the tape right now. All right.
Do
the
it.
graphics team's on it.
Watch me get the shit beat out of me by the
Oh,
Schmo.
man. Love to see it either way. But let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. All right, we got Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. Man, this this also could be fight of the night. But honestly, though, I see Burns taking this shit, and I see him just eating Masvidal because he's man. When fighters start talking about if I lose, I'm done. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
If he would have said that after the fight, I would have been more like, all right,
Yeah, after the fight, had he been like, all right,
I'm
guys,
4-0 or 0-4.
I'm done, guys. I'm sorry. But man, you can't come into a fight being like, if I lose, I'm done. What kind of talk is that? You can't be talking like that.
If you hear
know what
your
I'm saying?
opponent say that, or does that excite you?
I'm starching him.
You're like, I'm going to eat your soul, huh?
I'm starching him for real. I'm grabbing him and squeezing him until he just just pops.
Until he retires underneath you?
Yes. Thank you, Austin. I was looking for the right words to say.
I'll be in the Apex screaming, slap his chest for your next fight.
So yeah, man, I got to go with Burns on this one, and Burns is just a dog.
He is a dog, and I think it may be his time. I think Masvidal had his time.
I agree.
Which is why he's where he's at financially.
But Masvidal, in my opinion, hasn't been that impressive in the UFC. In the last, if you ask everyone else in the world, they'll be like, yeah, he was amazing. But for me,
you look at it differently.
I
than a
look at it
fan. You're a
differently,
fighter,
right? For example, like the last person he beat he knocked out Ben Askren, which I thought was, I thought it was a fluke. I thought Ben would take him down and demolish him if they fight 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, because in 2019 he beat Darren Till with a knockout, and then Nate Diaz for the BMF belt, and then he beat Ben Askren, and since then he's
But look who he fought: Nate Diaz, who
Only
is
got stopped because of a cut.
gatekeeper.
It's true.
Ben Askren didn't do well in the UFC.
Has punch, and I told this to him, and he thought it was funny. He punches like he's searching for a light switch
I don't
in
know.
the dark.
We can't walk all over Nate Diaz. That's that 209 Bay Area, baby. Stockton, Cali.
I love Nate Diaz. You know what I'm saying? But
Come on the show. Let's chop
I love
it up,
Nate Diaz, but he's not a title contender. You know what I'm saying? So my point is like Nate Diaz, Darren Till, who was like 1-5 now.
Yeah,
And-
but then he was like that was right off of just losing the fight before that. He fought for the belt against Tyron Woodley.
Darren Till, who was 1-5. I love Darren. Another person that I love. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know it's not
Great arm tattoos.
I know that.
It's not personal. It's
Not
just
at all.
these are just, you know what I mean. I hope when people do breakdowns of me, they're not biased towards me. I hope they're real. They're
crazy
like
shit.
O'Day Osborne. Sometimes he's just a stud, and
Should have been at camp, but he was making videos with sticky paws.
And he brings a machete into the ring. It's not
Yeah, was
fair.
this some anime thing?
But no, I don't think Masvidal is at the level that people think that he is.
Do you think and will you agree with this? If he does win, it's by early
Knockout.
stoppage.
Yes, it's by early.
So you
stoppage.
think that's probably his only route to victory?
Yes, I think he's got a lot going on. He's got his show, the Game Bread show, which is amazing. I think,
Savage.
you know what I mean. He's got a lot going on, so I can't see him putting in the time and the effort that Gilbert Burns is going to put in because Gilbert is a real title contender. I don't see Masvidal as a title contender. I see him as an UFC entertainer. He makes a lot of money. I put him in the Kevin Holland corner.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. And that goes back to the why. If you look at Embedded, you could see Burns at his house with his kids, and he lives in a pretty normal house.
Yeah.
His gym is in his garage,
Yep.
and it's he's saving a ton of money, but Masvidal lives in a mansion in Miami, driving around like a gangster. Like,
Yes, his drive is different. You know what I'm saying?
It's that Conor McGregor thing, right?
Yeah.
Silk sheets. So
When you're sleeping in silk sheets, it's hard to go to work. I said silk sheets.
it's the T.
Oh man, but yeah, man.
Burns. So where do you think that division goes from there? So there's a lot of talks about Colby supposedly fighting Leon for the belt next, but I do think personally, if not even like this is so. Listen to this shit. If you didn't know, hold on. Look at the press conference. I didn't know this. Masvidal openly said, "How can Colby fight next for the belt?" He just took me to court and said I gave him a brain injury.
I saw that. I did see that.
How do you think the UFC takes that?
Man,
I mean, I know
it all depends. It depends on if Kobe is fluffing or not, which he probably is. He's probably full of fluff.
But you can't. If you fluff the courtroom and then you get in the octagon and fight for the belt,
he's gonna lose one of those things. He's either gonna lose the opportunity to fight for the belt, or he's gonna drop it in court. And I think he's gonna drop it in court because come on, man, you can't just be like, yeah, he gave me a brain injury, and then you fight in the UFC. So I will say Masvidal, 1 point for him on that one.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
1 point for you, Masvidal.
That's what happened to Diego Sanchez with his crazy ass coach that he fired. He said that he wanted all his medical records.
Diego is,
and then because they requested the medical records and wanted to get like checked for TBI, they dropped. That's why he didn't fight Cowboys last fight, because of the brain injury possibilities.
Diego's coach, man.
Yeah, that guy. I want to get him on the show. We could join his cult.
Might all get brain injuries.
So I'm going to go with Burns. I think, damn, Burns just fought Hamzat, which he lost. He did lose the fight, but he lost no.
Right. Come on. Look at that. Look at. Come on. He went to war with Hamzat, one of the best guys in that division. I don't care what anybody says. Hamzat is one of the best right now, and I don't see anybody beating him unless he fights Shavkat.
Really?
Yes.
They're doing Shavkat versus Usman, maybe.
I think Shavkat beats everybody.
Really, you said that last week too. You're real high up on that kid, huh?
I am. He's one of those guys again that's just in the shadows, just waiting. You know what I mean? There's those guys. I pay attention to people like that. The people who, they don't talk a lot of shit and they don't have a lot of hype on them. Those are the people that are dangerous as fuck.
Yeah.
I think Khamzat is dangerous as fuck.
Great, yeah.
Not Khamzat, sorry, Shavkat.
I think they're both dangerous.
I think Shavkat is dangerous as fuck. I think
he did take some damage in his last fight.
He did, because Jeff Neal is an animal, man.
And if you go up to the top 5 and take damage, that could be a knockout.
Yes, I think Khamzat runs through everybody, and I think the only person that beats him, call me crazy, is Shavkat.
I think he was presented to my Palestinian friend. What's his
Bilal
Muhammad, sorry. Yep. I think that was presented to Bilal as a fight.
Yeah.
And he turned it down.
Yeah,
he should be fighting for the belt.
He beats everybody. I honestly, I think I believe you're looking at the next UFC champion is gonna be Shavkat.
You hear it, UFC flyweight, the Jamaican sensation Ode Osborne said it.
That is what I believe.
Well, we'll look back at this in 14 months, and if he's got the belt, we'll go get pizza.
All right,
you can pay for it.
Yeah. I always look at this in certain fighters, right? You see this in Alexa Grasso. If you notice their fighting style and how calm they are, I've said that before with Alexa Grasso. If you look at her when she fights, she's so calm. She's just as still as just a blade of grass.
Yep.
She's so calm.
That's
same
how,
with Shavkat. Same way. Very calm. Edwards is actually pretty calm as well.
Very.
Yeah, he's very calm.
That whole division. So I don't know where it's going to go. Burns is certainly, with his grappling, he's got him. But if they stay on the feet, it's anybody's game. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. We will get that. We will. All right, fight fans.
Do we have any bells?
Not in this room.
Not in this room. I'm going to order some of those little.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the main event of the evening. Israel Adesanya versus
the scary man who doesn't speak, Alex Pereira.
He doesn't speak.
No.
I think Chris Curtis did a interview saying that.
Oh, we got to talk about Chris Curtis.
He's the Michael Myers in the background.
We got to talk about Curtis and Gastelum.
We have to. Yes, we will talk about that. Let's actually talk about that one right now.
Yeah, we got to talk about Gastelum and Curtis.
Yeah,
Curtis, you train with Curtis, right?
Trained with Curtis, lived with Curtis. Curtis is one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Love Chris. So obviously I'm biased as all hell, but
And I got a lot of love for Gastelum.
have you seen the fight photo though that they put up of Gastelum? He didn't look that good. Like he looked like he just rolled out of bed and accepted a fight. And he has so many injuries. I don't feel that Gastelum is one of those fighters that works as hard as Chris Curtis does. You know what I'm saying? I think Chris works 365 days out of the year. I live with him after his fight in Madison Square Garden, right back to the gym that week. He lives, sleeps, eats, breathes training.
I got to go with Gastelum. Gastelum, shout out to you. I sat next to him at the Apex the first day with the cardboard sign.
Oh, man.
He followed me on Instagram. He made my damn day, made my week, and he's been in, communication with me since when he didn't have to. He's a big star. So because of that, I got Gastelum.
Right,
but yeah,
guys.
Curtis is a beast, man. And he did say that he works 365 days a year. He's in there, scrapping with Strickland these guys are going at it. So
Yeah,
he's got 40 fights or 30 fights.
He's got a lot. He's got 39 fights.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fights.
He's got a lot of fights.
He said unless Gastelum goes in there and can fly or throw like a fireball, there's nothing that I haven't seen. So, which makes sense.
What's even crazier is they have Chris Curtis as an ortho and Gastelum as a southpaw, which is crazy because Chris is the southpaw. I think they flipped it by accident.
No, I think Gastelum's a southpaw.
But Chris is a southpaw. I know this because I live with him. I'm also a southpaw.
Southpaw versus southpaw shouldn't be it.
No,
it's orthodox versus orthodox is.
It's different because if you're not sparring a southpaw all the time, then you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? You need to spar someone who's a southpaw and get that look.
Yeah.
Which Chris has been doing. He's been getting his rounds in. So I'm excited for this fight, man. I'm super excited. I think both these guys. This is crazy. So Chris has a 4-inch reach advantage. Let's see. Gastelum has the age advantage. He's 31. Chris is 35.
And Chris is pretty damn jacked for that weight class. Like he
actually usually fights at 70, which is crazy, right?
Jesus.
Yeah, he usually fights at 70, but he's been
Just depleted
terrorizing.
as hell.
He's been terrorizing the 85 division. So why not?
I think this is good for him because he's kind of been under the shadows for a while.
Yes.
And this is like a breakout fight against, everybody knows Gastelum. 4 years ago, he was in the top 3, in that division. So everybody knows. So it's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a great fight. And Chris is he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. That's a really good standing right there.
And Gastelum's been out for a couple years.
Yeah, Gastelum's just on. I can't, man. He's been on and off, and he gets injured too much. He's missed weight like 3 or 4 times. I can't go for Gastelum. I'm sorry.
All right.
Gastelum is 1-4. Chris is 4-1. Gastelum is 1-4. So his only fight that he won was to Ian Hamich. Yeah, man. I can't see it. Sorry, Kevin. You ain't getting it done.
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. That's why I love the fight game because you never know,
this is
right?
True. It only takes one punch.
Takes one punch. Like what was it? The Korean Zombie when he got knocked out with like 2 seconds left by like an under elbow or whatever.
Yep. By Yair, man.
By
Yair's
Yair.
a freak.
Yeah, you never know.
Knockout of the decade.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna get to the main event.
All right,
I'm excited, man.
Yes, same here. Israel Adesanya
Versus
Alex
Poatan.
Pereira. Alex Pereira.
Poatan, I don't know if you guys know what that means. It means stone hand.
Yeah.
And he actually has tattoos of stones on his hand. He's
I
a
More
believe
like
it.
stone wrestling because he
man.
wrestles like a rock.
No,
I'm gonna tell him you said that, Austin.
I tell him.
He's coming for you.
I think there's 2
What's he going
ways
to do?
to
Risk
look.
his whole career on me?
I mean, you want some money?
He might.
Trying to get paid, Austin? You trying to get paid?
I'm not going to step in the ring with him.
I'm just saying, for him risking his whole career, you can sue him, make some money. Let's set it up.
I'm getting paid. All right, we're getting paid. The three of us in this room are getting paid.
We're getting paid. All right. Let's get it going. How do you think this fight's
You want to give the viewers a little history on these two?
Oh, so
because there's a lot of history.
So much history. So in kickboxing, they fought twice. Both times Izzy was winning and then lost. Both times. Same thing happened in MMA. MMA, they fought for a third time. Alex Pereira went to the UFC. He beat him in kickboxing, took the belt from him, and then he came to the UFC, beat him, took the belt from him. I think that Izzy has a lot on the line for this fight, and he's going to risk it all. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that it's do or die. It's just, for Izzy, it is, I need to beat this person. You know what I'm saying? And for Alex Pereira, it's just another night at the office. He's coming in thinking that he's going to take Izzy by storm. And he did the first time, he did the second time, he did the third time. I do think there were a lot of holes I saw in his last fight and in the wrestling department, right? I saw that he didn't really know what to do in certain situations, or he didn't have the experience, in certain situations. And I do think Izzy's going to take
it down.
Yeah, he's going to exploit that. I feel that. If he doesn't, then he doesn't, but I feel that Izzy will exploit that. If he forces it and runs into a knee or a punch, that could be something different, but we'll see what happens. I feel that, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think my gut's telling me that Izzy's going to pull this one out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would look at this fight.
Which is crazy. Izzy's actually an underdog. Yeah.
And you would say, maybe this guy's got his number,
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Which you would think mentally that he would have his number. And I'm sure in some facet he definitely does. And I can say that positively that he does, because Izzy is usually cool, calm, collected.
Yes.
Champ shit only. The last press conference he did is the first time I've ever seen him get kind of like aggressive.
Yeah.
He said, what if I butcher him? What if I fuck him up? He's never said that. He's always chilling and,
yeah, man.
Got his
I'm excited
jewelry on. And but maybe that's what he needs.
Yeah, no,
maybe he's got to go in there with a chip on his shoulder.
Yep.
Like today, I don't give a shit about the other times, because it could work. It could work both ways. It could be Pereira says, I got his number, and he underestimates Izzy because he's already beat him. Or it could be Izzy says he's got my number, and he doesn't go. I personally think he's going to go in there
because Izzy beat him. I think Izzy beat him 4 rounds in the last fight. I think he.
Yeah, you could have gave 1 round, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 1 round to Alex. Even maybe the last round. So maybe I'd say maybe 3 rounds Izzy beat him.
Yeah,
and the last round he kind of took off because he knew he was winning the fight. He
definitely has the. I mean, even so, their first kickboxing match, he won.
Every time they fought, Izzy has been winning.
I thought he won the first kickbox. I watched it a couple times.
I didn't watch that one. That's the one I didn't watch. So that's the one where it was a decision.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take that one back.
First one was a decision, which I personally, after watching the fight, thought that Izzy did have that as a win. The second one, if you look at it, Izzy was piecing him up the whole fight, and then he got caught with a hook, knocked him out. And then, like you just said, the same thing in the UFC. Is he won every round. I mean, he was quicker. He was more slick. He had him, some really good ground control, which we don't see from, Adesanya, because he's not really a ground guy. Let's be honest. They're both kickboxers. But I got to say, and I think you said it too, anybody in the top 5 outside of those two beats Pereira, I think. I think Whitaker or Hamzat, any of these high-level wrestlers beat the dog shit out of this guy.
Dog shit out of him. I think if it was Hamzat, Hamzat submits him in under 5 minutes.
If you were
It'd just be a Holland fight again.
Yeah.
If you were in the same weight class as Hamzat, would you want to scrap?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I want to fight all the time.
You guys are nuts, man.
I want to fight all the time. I mean, that's the hardest part about being a 25er is that, guys, there's not a lot of 25ers. I think it's the weight class with the least amount of fighters, and everybody wants the perfect fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to fight year round if I could.
Have you thought about bantamweight at all?
I used to fight at bantamweight.
No, I know. Again, have you thought about going back?
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. Right now, just focus on one thing at a time, trying to get the make it that 25 run. You know, that's the most important thing.
You heard it here. O'Day versus Hamzat in a catchweight bout.
Oh man,
yeah. So that's going to be good. I do think.
So who do you have on this one?
Oh my god,
I'm putting you on the spot. Who do you got? And whoever you say, the other person's gonna watch this. I'm gonna show it to him.
Do you want my 20 years watching MMA like tactical experience?
I
want Bobby like.
I want like Bobby like. Who you got, Bobby?
Izzy.
Okay, all right, Izzy.
Yeah.
There it is, guys. Adesanya is taking this fight. All right. So
who do you got? You call me out.
I got Izzy. I got Izzy. Yep, I got Izzy on this one.
All right.
Well, there you have it, guys. I think. What, do you have anything else?
Yeah. Where do you think Izzy goes if he doesn't win?
We'll talk about that if he doesn't win.
All right, we'll talk about that.
Bare
next
Knuckle
week.
FC.
Yeah, because that's
Fajeda said, you know, since UFC,
WD.
he was
That's
talking
fucked
shit.
up.
He said the UFC and Endeavor merges, so Izzy's going to WWE.
Yeah,
I'm
he said
like,
that's where he
man,
belongs. I'm like, this
damn.
dude, did you know what made Piero want to come into the UFC? He saw an interview of Adesanya saying, this guy, I live in his head, and he watches me and my success, and he's going to be the guy who says in the bar in 30 years, oh, I beat that guy. But he's not on my level. And he watched that interview, and within 12
Still
months,
not
he
on
became
his
the champ.
level. Still not on his level.
Yeah. All right. Well, you heard it. Fights are going to be in Miami. That's East Coast time. So make sure you adjust accordingly. And we'll be back Monday to see what the hell happens. Yeah.
I can't wait. This is one of the most exciting fight cards of the year, guys.
That's dope.
Tune in, check it out. Tune in Mondays to check out our recap from this fight, from this card, from this episode. And we will talk about all the things that happened. That is all, guys. My name is O'Day Osborne, UFC flyweight.
And I'm Bob. Just Bob.